Hello and welcome back to the Geeky Tees Prime Championship. This is a top 8 match, so both these players have made the cut, survived Swiss. Mick obviously won round 5, we saw that earlier, and our challenger for this round is Mason, oh no, Stinky, who is piloting They, who generously seeks out strategy. So, what strategy does he have for us today? If we look at, he has a very astounding efficiency stat of 22. I think that is going to be the most important thing to keep note of for this matchup. He's got Zenzi, Eddie, Igor, Hapsis, Memory Chip. Lots of good card draw. On top of that, we've got a 6 Tabers and a Kirby. I think that's going to be Mason's key to victory here if he wants to defeat Mick. Mick just has a lot of board control options, so in order to make up for all that carded disadvantage that Mick's going to make a lot of needs to make a, so Mick's goal here is to make a lot of card advantage through the Axiom and his board control options to remove Mason's creatures that he's going to probably be playing a lot of, especially plays like an early Zenzi. Mason can just try and flood the board, and if he gets a lucky draw here or there, so long as he avoids Mick's major board wipes, I think he'll be okay. His creatures are generally a little bit better than Mick's. Mick is highly reliant on his like Kirby's and his Jericho are like his strongest creatures. Aside from that, most of his creatures just have to reap, and can just reap and don't do too much else after that. He does have some taunt, but Mason does have stronger taunt. He has 2 Lieutenant Kirkars and a Kirkar's Blaster, so he can actually drop a lot of wards all over the place. With Hapsis, and Hapsis also gets his own wards. There's Buzzle for a little bit more board control, and Zap. Mason and Drain Touch. Mason doesn't have a lot of creature removal, so he's gonna have to fight if he wants to remove some of the problematic creatures Mick has, like Strix. Pimpaka Jaga did a lot of work for Mick in the last round, and Gallum. All right, looks like the match started, and Mick starts off with a Redder Gallum. Cool, so we'll get rid of that. And here we are, we're off the races. And then Mason starts off with a Zenzi, so he's doing it. Mick needs to find answers right now. The 4-2 is a little bit bigger than most of the creatures Mick has in his deck. Fortunately, the Pimpaka Jaga is going to help out a lot. All right, so he goes in the Star Alliance, plays a Kirby, plays both of his Kirby's. All right, so Mick is, you know what, he has his own source of 2 extra cards a turn now through the Kirby's, so long as he can keep finding those non-creatures. Although Mason does have a lot of options and tools to deal with these Kirby's. I mean, Zenzi by itself will only take 1 damage every time it fights a Kirby. Oh, this opts not to play the unnatural selection. Makes sense. It wouldn't do any good here, except for getting a pip. He knows he needs to hold on to it. That Zenzi, he doesn't have too many answers for it. Raining Touches the Gallum, interesting choice. Exhumes the Hapsis. Wait, what? Tries. All right, Exhume. Yeah, there we go. Exhumes the Hapsis. I guess. Okay. Rot Grub makes Mick lose 1. Malison discards Malison and plays a Not Finished With You, and that's it. I guess he's already playing around unnatural selection. Mick and Mason did go to this event, or we're all friends, we're all from the same store, so you might know that there's unnatural selection in Mick's deck, so he's trying to play around that. Or maybe he's just trying to keep Zenzi in the center. That would make a little bit more sense. That would be a really good read that Mason had right then and there. Alright, so Mick, what are you going to do? Your opponent... Alright, there's Key Charge, Wild Spirit for Untamed. Those can both be played off of the Kirby's. There's a Quadricorder. You can put the Quadricorder on the Zenzi. And he is going to do that. Alright, so Mason's keys now cost +2, or sorry, +1. Quadricorder increases key cost based on the number of houses Mick has on his creatures. Alright, Reaps with Kirby's. He's going to force Mason into fight. He's going to just, his Kirby's are better than most of Mason's creatures, so the fighting's going to have to happen. So every time, so he plays Wild Spirit on Amber Tracker. So now every time Amber Tracker reaps, it captures 1. Alright, Mick changes his mind, puts it on the Kirby instead. Alright, Amber Tracker fights the Rock Rub, makes sense. But moves Zenzi off the center, so Mason needs at least 1 more creature to put Zenzi back in the center to draw cards. It's not too hard to find. Reaps with Kirby, captures 1 onto Kirby, uses the second Kirby ability here to probably... But he's going to play a card here. Not sure which one he's going to play. Oh, no, he decides against it. He does have a lot of tools, but he knows he needs to find an answer for the Zenzi. And he's just hoping Mason goes out of his way to or sorry, he plays an Eddy. He's hoping Mason goes out of his way to play more than 3 creatures, so he can just target the Zenzi here. Archives a card with the Eddy, so Eddy is now increasing Mick's key cost by 2. Plays remote access, uses all of Mick's artifacts. Thorium Plasmate moves Kirby in between the 2, or the upgraded Kirby in between the 2 Star Alliance creatures, so it takes 4 damage, and he loses all of his, loses the upgrade. Nice little 2-for-1 there. And gains some Amber and Data Forge. Alright, he's up at 5 Amber, not quite. Oh, fights with Hapsis, okay. Gains a ward, takes 3 damage, and gets to draw a card. Draws an Explo River. So he's got a Star Alliance turn coming up, probably. Gains 1 by reaping with Zenzi. Draws up to 7. Alright. Mick needs to find Axiom pretty much at this point. I think that's his best bet. He's holding out. He needs to start moving some cards here. Tribute could pull him off check. The Amber Tracker is just going to get beat up though. Or I guess he's not. Mason's not quite in check yet. His keys are up by 1 thanks to the quadricorder. And now Mick has 2 creatures he needs to deal with. Fortunately, he tends to have the better board control options in his deck. So he should be okay. He's got double Phalanx Strike, which if he has 2 more creatures would do a lot of work. He can kill both the Hapsis and the Eddy here, or oh, there's an Axiom. Wards his Amber Tracker, pops the ward on the Hapsis, and clears the board. Alright, so what else you got for us, Mick? There you go, got rid of the Zenzi. And that's, oh, okay, yep. Plays Broxodon Auxiliary and tributes onto the Broxodon Auxiliary. Does he choose to exalt? And the answer is no. Okay, so that might be it. That does it for Mick's turn. Not bad. Cleared the board, got rid of some of the big threats. Mason did draw, I want to say, like 6 extra cards off the Zenzi, so here's his final turn with Zenzi hand size increase, and it is a monster of a Star Alliance turn. He's got, what, 1, 2, Explo River is 1, CXO, Kirkar, Stan, Kirkar. 5 strong board control cards, and a nice couple of valuable cards to protect with the CXO Tabers, and the Chan are definitely worth protecting here. Those Kirkars are going to be very difficult to get through, and oh, he also drew a Zap, so I feel like, and Sensor Chief Garcia, Mason is going to probably have another big Star Alliance turn, and Mick fortunately has his unnatural selection here, so I imagine that's coming down right now. That will leave, I'm not sure. The Hapsis with Skirmish sounds extremely dangerous. Maybe leave him with the 2 Kirkars and a Chan. That way the Chan doesn't have anything to use. I definitely think the CXO is a must, has to be gotten rid of, and I think Hapsis at this point probably has to also be gotten rid of. It will be too dangerous to deal with. Oh, there's a Mustic Murmuk. Okay, interesting. So he can actually probably remove. Alright, he gets rid of both of the Kirkars, because, alright, interesting. Mustic is now going to come down and blow up any of these creatures. Is totally worth it and within range. Piranha Monkeys, there we go. That's a good start. Deals 2 damage. Every creature now has 2 damage on it. So what does Mick probably was Mick pick off with the Mustic at this point? He's trying to fish up damage counters. Probably the CXO. Alright, opts to play the Mustic underneath the Taunt. There you go, makes sense. So everyone's keys are now 7 no matter what. And it passes back to Mason. Mason is left with a solo Chan. The Zap is now going to deal 1 for Star Alliance, 2 for Saurian, 3 for Untamed. That'll do it. 3 damage will get rid of the Piranha Monkeys and Amber Tracker if he wants to. Might just be tempted to put it into the Taunt creature, the Broxodon. Although, it does mean if he doesn't kill the Piranha Monkeys here, he could prevent it from ever reaping in the future. because it would kill itself. It would kill a lot of mixed creatures. That'd be an argument. All right, Chan fights into Broxodon. Hold on, didn't Chan? That doesn't sound right. Broxodon has Hazardous 2, and that Chan should have had 2 damage on it. I could be wrong. All right, so the Chief Garcia comes down, increases mixed key cost by 2, and Nurse Soto. Oh, Nurse Soto probably comes down, heals Chan. Chan fights. That's fine. So Mason passes the turn back to Mick. Check with 7, just enough to get past the Mustic. Mick is low on Amber Control options. Goes into Star Alliance. Double checking that Mason's exactly check. Keeps trying to find something to do with this Amber Tracker here. Does he want to fight the Sensor Chief, or just is going to Reap? He's got 2 of his 3 Chans in his hand. That's going to be important later. Alright, opts to Reap, goes to 5. Jericho. Okay, so there's an argument. Chan. Alright, Jericho's now in the center. He gets to play. Oh, nice. So he plays the Centurion, which captures 1. They're a Centurion, a 6 power, 1 armor creature in Saurian. Alright, Mason is sitting at 6, no longer in check, fails to forge a key. Mick is now the one in the commanding lead with the board. Mason sees Buzzle. Goes into Star Alliance. Alright, no actions. Plays a stealth mode, so Mick cannot play actions on his next turn. Plays Scientific Officer Lang, or Psychic Officer Lang, a Kirby. Plus a not finish, or sorry, uses Kirby to play not finish with you. So Lang here says whenever an opponent creature reaps, you archive the top card of your deck. Mick does have, this is some good control, some answer to make it, forces some fighting. I think it's 3 power elusive creature as well. So Mason reaps twice here, goes up to 8. Uses Kirby to play, not finish with you to go up to 9. Mason gets back Eddie, Zenzi, and a Rot Grub. No love for CXO. Oh, yep. There it is. Alright, CXO is also coming back. Nope, not quite yet. Checking his hand. Alright. Gonna shuffle those back into his deck. Alright, let's get this Amber count right. 4, 8, 10. 10 Amber. Over to Mick. I believe that's the end of Mason's turn. Check for his first key. It's gonna cost 7. Mick does have 2 Chans. He can easily go into Star Alliance and use all of his cards on the board. Plus use a Jericho to play an extra non-Star Alliance card. Help him out a little bit. Let's see. Chan could, he got a couple good fight effects off the Chans. So the Mustic could do some work in that regard. Alright, so hopefully, alright, so Mick goes in the Star Alliance. Reaps twice. Okay. Reaps once. Reaps once. Reaps twice. Alright, so he can use 2 of his non-Star Alliance creatures. Centurion fights. I guess it's not elusive. Mustic fights. Kirby. Okay, perfect. Alright, so what else you got for us? We're going to... Ooh, interesting. Oh, trade. Sorry, never mind. Trade here moves Jericho back to the center. Sounds good. Which lets Mick play a Rustnar or another Centurion. Scramblinks. We'll interplay ready, although can't reap because it's still Star Alliance turn. Rustnar comes down. Okay, not bad. Jericho. Yep, Jericho is going to reap. No one cares about you and Nurse Soto. Alright, Mason goes to Forge. Is going to get to Forge the first key of this match. Mick is passing check over at 8. +1 the current key cost, thanks to the Mustic Murmuk. Alright. Alright, so Mason's got a nice big hand of discards. He did archive 2 cards. Oh, and not finished with the number 3. Alright, Can't get it out fast enough. Rock Grub makes Mick lose one. He's still in check. Not finished with you. Goes up to 3. 1 key and 3 amber. Gets back Garcia, Chan, and that'll do it. Binding Irons. Mick gains 3 chains. Puzzle. Puzzle purges Rock Grub. Puzzle fights the Centurion. It takes 2 damage. Purges the Dendrix. Deals 3 more damage to it. So it's taken 4. And that murders it. Mason goes up to 5 amber. Jericho is very far from the center now. What can Mick do about this? I see Shrik's Phalanx Strike. He's counting his creatures, figuring out how much Phalanx Strike damage he gets to do, which is 5. So he forges his first key. Mason hands the Mick his deck to cut, thanks to not finish with you. Draws a Igor, an Eddie, and a Garcia. So Candle Unit, Guardian, Wormhole Tech. Mason has a very powerful Logos turn on next turn. If he's willing to let Mick also just mix, I feel like Mick's next turn, based on his hand, is just going to play a bunch of Saurian cards, build up a big board once again, keep forcing Mason to have answers. Mason lacking the board wipes shouldn't. Alright, so Mick opts to go into Star Alliance. Lets his Chan use the Rustnar to fight, which gets rid of the memory chip. Not bad. Alright, so Mick is happy sitting in Star Alliance. Reap with Chan number 2. Reap with Mustic. I guess this is not bad. You know what? He's just going to flat out race Mason here. What is he going to do about it? He's going to go up to Reap one more time, go to 4. No more Chan, so this is as good as it's going to get for Mick here. He passes turn. I Reap for 5, or fight once and Reap 4 times. Not bad. Alright, Mason's like, I don't care. I'm also going to play a big turn. Igor finds Cut the Research. Ooh, an Infernus, so he decides to keep that one. Going up for a big disc turn in the future. Wormhole Tech, Candle Unit, Titan Guardian, and Eddie. Alright, so he gets to archive a card. It looks like a Star Alliance card. Double checking what he has in his discard pile. Trying to figure out what he's likely to draw into here. It looks like 3 cards left in Mason's deck, so this is a interesting consider. It looks like maybe Garcia. Not bad. Alright, that should do it. Mick being like, alright, hold on. How many creatures did you just play? What am I gonna do? He's out of board wipes. This is some significant. Mason's been drawing. I don't want to say Mason's drawing well here, but it's been turn after turn, and that's what high speed does for you. It lets you play, just have hands full of the same house, pretty much. Or sorry, high efficiency. Dis. Alright, that's not a bad dis. There's 4 discards. Not finished with you. Exhume. Rock Grub. Oh, is that Zenzi? Zenzi is back, although it's going to be really difficult to get Zenzi back. Alright, so Mick plays So Salt. It's an alpha card, gain 1 amber. Creatures cannot reap for the remainder of the turn. So, big Saurian turn. Trix is going to come down. Figuring out Phalanx Strike. So, there was some weird ruling here where Phalanx Strike, apparently, according to the floor judge of the event, the Phalanx Strike has to target the same creature after you exalt it. So Mick here is trying to figure out. Obviously, it's not going to exalt it because he can kill any creature he wants the one time. He could. He's trying to figure out a way to get rid of the Titan Guardian. No. I think Candle Unit here is the biggest threat, and he definitely has the creatures to play it. Nathan's taking a look through Mick's deck, or sorry, discard pile. See, Shrik's, Failing Strike, Terra Centurion. Mick gets to add 2 more cards to the left of Jericho, which will put Jericho back in the center. So he gets to play at least 5 cards this turn. So Salt, Shrik's, Centurion, Failing Strike, plus Jericho card. Alright, here they come. Ooh, opposite Exalt of these Shricks there. Interesting. It will almost put him into check. He needs. I guess yeah, he's gonna get into check thanks to Failing Strike and this Chant of Hubris. Okay, so he could. All right, Failing Strikes the Eddy. Opts not to exalt Chant. Probably. Yep. Moves the captured Amber from the Centurion onto Shrix. Okay, and that's it. Opts not to play what his last card is off of Jericho. Maybe he's thinking about it being nice here. Do you want to play it? What is it? What is his last card? Ends his turn. It looks like it was a Mad of the Mad. Looks like some sort of pixie card. Maybe I got that wrong. Alright, Infernus purges 2 cards from Mick's discard pile with Amber Pips. Mick is in check at 7, but he gets rid of Tribute and Unnatural Selection. You know, we're removing some a little bit of Amber control that Mick does have, plus plus some of the board control he has, especially in the current state of the game. Alright, Exhumes Eddy to archive another card. Not finished with you to gain some Amber. The Rock Grubbin Infernus has pulled Mick off of check. He is at a 4 soft 6 with Shrix, but the Mustic is keeping him off of check himself. There's 2 cards now archived due to Eddy, so Mick's key cost actually is what's that? +3, 9. Alright, gigantic board versus gigantic board. What can Mick do here? I guess yeah, that last card in Mick's hand was a Bramble Lynx. Did lose a chain. That Binding Irons is finally catching up with him. There is a Kin Can in Mick's hand. It's not going to do much now. Everyone has a big enough board. It's just going to sit there, be a 2-power elusive creature. The Chans can do work here. Mick can just keep playing cards, trying to just race. They're basically tied on keys. He needs to get rid of the Eddy. That's going to be a key factor here. He also needs to somehow protect the Shrix, honestly. That's the biggest thing. That's 2 Amber that could swing back over to Mason. I'm not sure if Mick, without the Tribute, I'm not sure how much Amber control Mick has to erase there. He does get to reap with 5 creatures if he goes in the Star Alliance, thanks to the Chans. He could Chan number 3 and that. I see 3 Untamed cards and 2 Star Alliance cards. The Fittest is also really good here. It will buff the Shrix to high enough number that not even the Guardian or the Candle Unit can get there, although the Candle Unit is going to draw Mason a ton of cards, and there's not much Mick can do about it. He would have to fight twice. He'd need to like fight Jericho into Titan Guardian, and then oh, that is Wild Spirit. Sorry, not Wild Spirit. Instrument of Silence. Gives a creature fight, gain 1, and skirmish. He puts it on the Centurion. That would be his. So that was his Jericho card. Plays Chan plus Kin Can. Alright, what's Chan gonna do? And alright, Mason's reminding Mick if he decides to reap that, Mason himself gets the draw card. Alright, Chan still gonna reap. Gain 1. Uses Centurion to fight, thanks to its skirmish, into the Titan Guardian because of the taunt. He's gonna have to let that happen. It's an unfortunate step on the way to getting rid of the Candle Unit. Oh, he goes after the Wormhole tech. Captures 1. Gains 1 thanks to the Instrument of Silence. Goes up to 6. Not any closer to getting rid of that Candle Unit. He might just fight a whole bunch of this round in that case. Ken could fight, say, Igor here, and then he could... I don't know. He doesn't want to fight with really any of these other creatures. Ken reaps. Mason draws a card. Mason's hand is gigantic at this point. Mick is just going to have to let it happen. Thankfully, that Science Officer Lang plus that Eddy could be a huge archive for Mason to prevent Mick from ever forging a key here until he finds his Failing Strike number 2. Pretty much what he needs at this point. He needs to get through his deck, get back to his board control options, honestly. So he's very far away from that. Looks like a good 10 cards left in his deck, and the Binding Irons are slowing him down to that. Alright, so Mustic raids. Okay. Reduces key cost. Mick is now in check by a good amount. Jericho reaps. Mason draws a card. And that passes. That's it. Alright. Alright, Jericho is no longer in the center. Mick checks with a hard 8, soft 10. Alright, Zenzi. Mason's ready for his own leader to come back. Memory chip. Okay. Not bad. Pampaka is due. There's the Pampaka. Zap. Alright, Thorium Plasmate. Thorium Plasmate is really disruptive against leaders. He can move the Jericho all the way to one of the sides. Decides to move the Shrix, so it takes 4 damage. It was almost there. Has 3 damage on it now. Guardian fights. Alright, Mason gets his amber back. Goes up to 7. Shrix is removed. Jericho is farther from the center. I return back to this tournament. Candle Unit captures 1. It does have the ability to action capture 1. And he reaps. Igor reaps. Mason is making a huge rush here. If you've got the board, do it. Alright, he passes his turn. He's gonna basically just keep drawing cards. He doesn't need to worry about playing other houses, because while Mick can reap to try and race here, it's going to draw Mason cards. That is the big issue that Mick is facing down right now. Mick does have all 3 Chans out. If he could somehow get Jericho back into the center to play his to play the Pampaka, that would be huge. Alright, 1, 2, 3 houses, 4, 5 houses. Zap hits for 5. One double checking the count. Count is 5. Untamed, Saurian, Star Alliance, Dis, Logos. Zap hits for 5. That could be a good start here. He could find one more point. He could zap. Alright, so we can get rid of the Titan Guardian. Let Mason draw some cards and then pump the rest of it into the Candle Unit. That sounds like a good start for me. Then the Centurion can finish off Candle Unit later with its skirmish thanks to the Chan activations. I'd also be tempted to fight my Chans into, say, the Candle Unit just to move. Oh, alright, 3 into Eddie. And 2 into Guardian. Thanks to the armor, it will survive. Alright, he decides to put the 2 into the Igor. Just keep minimizing Mason's Logos turns. Interesting choice. Dan reaps. Mason draws a card. Centurion fights. Kills the Titan Guardian. Captures 1. Or sorry, gains 1. Alright, so there you go, captures 1. Mason is sitting at check with 8 currently. Mick needs to find his second quadricorder. That would be very helpful. And number 2 reaps. Mason draws a card. I guess he doesn't have to, but he can use the Rustnar here to fight. Try and move Jericho into the center. Fights. Alright, Candle Unit takes 3 damage. Fight the final Chan. Move Jericho in the center. Yep, fights the final Chan. There you go. Mick is now sitting on a pile of amber, hoping for the best. Puts quadricorder. Zenzi comes back, quadricorder comes right back to it. Mick did lose his untamed creature. Or no, so now Jericho's now in the center. He now has 3 different choices on what he can play for his untamed card, or for his non-star lands card. The fittest, so Bramble Links and Pampaka Jaga here will increase Mason's key cost by 1 more. But he opts to go for the Amber and make all of his creatures bigger. Yeah, that is a choice. Alright, so I guess he does want, so that at this point, Mason's keys cost 8 and Mason has exactly 8, so that's maybe an interesting way to force Mason to lose the 2 Amber there instead of increasing the key cost. Mick Roops twice more. He's just sitting at a whole boatload. 6, 10, plus another 5, 15 Amber, I would say. I had to guess right now. Enough Amber to finish out the game. All he has to do is just prevent Mason from winning. Key cost is up by 2. This does have 2 different houses on his side of the board. So it costs Mason the full 8 here. Most of Mason's Amber control, I think, is out on the board already. He needs a way to remove those Infernuses and Rock Grub so he can get them back. Alright, Starlance, Chan, Kirby. Get Zenzi back in the center. That's the plan here. Cycle through your deck, find those answers. Garcia increases Mick's key cost by 2. Kirby. Alright, Zenzi is now in the center. Explode Rover comes down as an upgrade on to Kurkar. Not bad. And that will be the end. And then he plays Not Finished With You to shuffle back in Eddie and all those creatures that Mick spent a lot of time killing. Gets Eddie back and just Igor. Just those two. And that'll do it. Mason ends his turn at 1. 1 Amber, 2 keys. Mick forges for 8 himself. Alright, so he needs 1 more Amber if the math I did right. Or sorry, he needs 3 more Amber in this case. Oh wow, he has more Amber than I imagined. He's at 7, so he needs 1 more Amber now to get back to be in check through the Garcia. What is Mick going to do here? He has a lot of tools. That Pampaka could give all of his creatures skirmish. They could Jericho right now, and then the Chans can fight everything. The Chans start fighting, let the Centurion fight some more. Everything is bigger, everything kills. Zenzi can only be destroyed by the Centurion or the Jericho here. Not that big a deal. I guess the Kurkar is an issue. It does have Hazardous. So maybe fighting a Kirby into that will be pretty important. There is a Calvin that Mick is staring at. He could upgrade one of his creatures right now. And then they will, when they reap or fight, he'll also draw a card. I think that's what he's considering doing. Imagine a big fight turns coming up. That's what I would be doing in his spot. He doesn't really need... So the important creatures to get rid of are Kirby, Garcia, and maybe the Zenzi. Well, the Zenzi... I guess the Zenzi is not going to be slowing down Mick too much. Or isn't going to be worth much right now. Sorry. By that, I mean, the quadricorder on the Zenzi is... While it will be useful in a turn or two from now, I think Mick's looking to end the game before that becomes relevant, so he might be able to just ignore the card advantage. There's also an argument for destroying all the creatures on the bottom side, because I think the Garcia is one of the most important creatures. Keep the Zenzi from being in the center and make it difficult for Mason to get back there. Mick just needs... If Mick gets rid of the Garcia, he doesn't even... If he can just fight enough to get rid of the Garcia, then he's basically in check +1. Not sure if Mason has the tools in his hand to deal with that. And then also try and gain some Amber. The Data Forge, though, is interesting. He forges at +10, -1 for every card in his hand. And is +2 thanks to Zenzi. You really need that Candle unit. That Candle unit and the Information Officer Lang, or a Psionic Officer Lang, has some interesting synergies in Mason's deck. I wish we got to see more of it. Alright, what are you going to do, Mick? Mick's been in the tank for a long time on this one. Has to figure out, is it better for me to just slow Mason down, or do I just go for it? Just reap and gain 5. and just be like, I don't. At this point, I guess Mick has seen all of Mason's deck, and I don't recall anything significant that could do that job. All right, Chan fights Kirby. As skirmish thanks to Pampaka. Pampaka was played thanks to the Jericho. Chan now allows Centurion to fight. Centurion fights the Kirkar. It takes 3 damage of Hazardous, I believe, but has armor, so it takes 2. Mick does gain 1 through fighting, thanks to the upgrade. Alright, Chan number 2. Chan number 2. Chan number 2 is going to receive an upgrade. Chan number 2 is upgraded with a Calvin. It now gets to draw a card every time it fights or reaps. And it will now fight. Fights the Garcia. There you go. Draws a card. Draws a Litigious Raptor. Alright, well, so Mick, you're sitting at 8 amber. Mason has not. I think he's missing the amber control. Jericho fights the Chan off the board. Zenzi is no longer in the center. It's very far. 2 creatures away from the center. King Can reaps. Goes up to 8. He's cost 6. Mason, do you have an answer for 3 amber? You have to pull Mick down 3. You need your Eddie back right now. Did you draw it? I do not see an answer in hand. There is a remote access Data Forge. Zap. Nothing much here. Yeah. Data Forge could be interesting. Zenzi could fight, deal 4 damage to Centurion. That's not quite enough. Get 2 amber back, but that's it. That's the game. Congratulations, Mick, on winning the first round of the top 8, making it to the top 4. Good job, Mason. Good showing. I believe this is your 2nd Prime Championship ever. Did a good job making top 8. Got that sweet playmat, and hopefully we'll see you again next season. And hopefully we'll see how Mick does in the next round when he goes fights for top 4 or tries to fight to make it into the finals. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so you get notified when the next round goes live. And thank you and good night.